Hi there, and thanks for watching. My name is Stephen Campbell, and I'm the pastor at the International Baptist Church of Bonn. We are an international body of believers striving together to establish a gospel-centered community in Bonn by the increase of love for God, each other, and our neighbors. Throughout the year, we'll be releasing a new video each week as part of our aim at IBC Bonn to lay a strong foundation for our members so they can have a vibrant faith and a consistent Christian life. And you're watching our Week 3 video. In the previous video, we introduced you to the problem of our sin and misery. Specifically, we know that we are sinful because we fall short of God's law. We do not perfectly love God or love others. But how did we become sinners? That's the topic of our video today. And the first point to know is this. Christians believe God created humans good and in His image. That means righteous, holy, and able to enjoy fellowship with Him. He did this so people might know Him, love Him, and live with Him in eternal joy. The Bible tells us that when God created man and woman, He said that His creation was very good. You and I might look in the mirror or at the world around us and think this must be some mistake. It's true that humanity has lots of problems, and our aching, diseased, and disfigured bodies are less than we might desire. But it is essential to Christian belief that God's creation is good, that His creation is lovely. We are supposed to enjoy God's creation and take care of it because it is good. It is a wonderful gift. In fact, God's creation is blessed by Him and bears His fingerprint. His creation reveals His glory, wisdom, and power. The Bible also tells us that when God first created man and woman, He created them in His own image. Humans are the only part of God's creation that is in His image. We look like God in several important ways. First, mankind was given the responsibility to represent God within His creation. Like the Creator, God, who also cares for His creation, people are also to be creative and work to take care of God's creation, to bring order out of the chaos. But equally important is the fact that God created man and woman capable of deep connection and intimacy with God Himself. God created us to know Him and enjoy Him, and that was possible as long as Adam and Eve remained in the perfect condition in which they were created. But sadly, things didn't work out that way. So Christians also believe that our sinful nature and the curse of death came from the disobedience and fall of our first parents, Adam and Eve. Since then, our nature has become so corrupt that we are conceived and born in sin. Adam and Eve were given a wonderful home with a purpose and had a deep relationship with God, their Creator. But to keep this relationship, they had to obey one single rule. They had to trust God and depend on Him for their life and well-being. But they broke this rule. They disobeyed, and there were two horrible and related consequences. First, when they looked outside of God for purpose and meaning, they disobeyed God's clear command, and they committed the very first sin in human history. But this was not a one-time thing. Sin, like a disease, entered their hearts and took root. It completely changed the makeup of their being. Their humanity was altered. Their human nature was stained by sin. That sin also impacted mankind's relationship with God. Humanity was no longer pure and holy like God is. Humanity could no longer enjoy a deep and intimate relationship with God the way it used to. And so God had to send Adam and Eve out of the garden and away from His holy presence. This sounds harsh, but it's actually an act of mercy because it's an act of protection. A sinful person going into the presence of a holy God is like flying a spaceship into a star. But sin also resulted in death. This was the second major consequence. Our bodies now decay and suffer and die because of sin. These two issues are problems that we have as a result of sin. Our nature is now stained by sin, and we die. And because our nature is stained by sin, we all sin. We all sin, so we all fall short of God's standard of righteousness. We all sin, so we all have the stain of sin that affects our relationship with God and separates us from Him. We all sin, so we are all going to die as a result. We all need to come to terms with this reality. If you look at your life, you will acknowledge that there is sin. When we look at our lives, we must admit that our lives do not look like God's life. We are not perfectly holy. Acknowledging this is the first step towards salvation. Admitting your sin and your need for a Savior is the first step towards forgiveness, restoration, and a new life in God. And so, for our memory verse this week, we have from Romans 3:23, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." That's it for now. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you. Be sure to like these videos and follow our channel to be notified each week when our new video is posted.